Hello there everyone, my name's Keltick, and today I am here to explain to you how to play Smite Ratatoskr in 4 minutes or less. Let's dive in by starting with the abilities. Now, as Twitch chat knows, Ratatoskr does not get to buy boots. Instead, with Ratatoskr's passive, you get to buy one of 4 different acorns. Now, each acorn has its own uses. I'm just going to kind of name them and give my brief summary. Evergreen Acorn heals Rat whenever he hits an ability. Thickbark Acorn gives the 2 an extra charge and is basically a tank shredding acorn. Bristlebush is a crit acorn and it hits hard. And then Thistlethorn gives the 3 a lot of extra fun. So I've now mentioned every single ability and you're probably very confused, so let's fill in the gaps. Ratatoskr's first ability is a dash. This dash does damage, and if you have the Bristlebush Acorn, you can crit with it. The 2 is a circle that shreds protections. The 3 shoots acorns out in a cone, and if you hit all 3 acorns, you get to stun the enemy, and then the 4, Rat goes and soars through the air, branch to branch, and can slam down on the ground and then knock people up. It's important to note that if you right-click, you can land early, and if you left-click, you get to hop to 3 different branches, including the one that you start on, before you land automatically. I feel like I kind of butchered how to explain the ult, so if you have a better explanation, leave it in the comments section down below. In the meantime, we're going to dive into tips and tricks. First tip is pretty simple, just build around the acorn that you're choosing. The acorn is kind of Rat's identity for the match, and you want to make sure you build around that identity, because building the healing acorn and then having a bunch of crit items doesn't make sense. Now for ability leveling order, this also actually depends on the acorn you choose, and I know that might sound a little bit nutty. Now for the first 3 levels, regardless of acorn, I recommend putting a point into the 2, then to the 1 for mobility, then for the 3 for the stun. From there, it actually depends on the acorn. If you have Bristlebush, you want to level Dart, which is the first ability to max first, and as such at level 4 you would put a second point into Dart. In all other situations, I actually recommend maxing out Flurry first. The protection shred is just generally better if you're not going to be able to have 50% crit in 10 minutes, so yeah. So to clarify, if you have Bristlebush, you want to max out 1, then 3, the ult where you can, and then the second ability last. And for all other acorns, you want to max out the 2, then the 3, the ult where you can, and then the 1 last. But just make sure you have a point in each, because dashing is important and mobility is, also important, especially since Ratatoskr is primarily a jungler. Now into combat specific tips. First being with Bristlebush. If the enemy is within auto attack range, do not use your second ability. Feel free to lock them down with the stun and to, crit dash them with the 1, but do not use the 2 until they are outside of your auto attack range. You are missing out on precious crit strikes if you are doing this. Final tip is don't sleep on Bruiser Rat. If you build Rat with a hybrid of some protections and some power, he actually gets a lot of value because he's a very good initiator, but he struggles with all-in potential, though I will admit Crit Acorn does make that a little bit better. But regardless, don't sleep on Hybrid Rat. Build this guy with some tank items and mess around. It's incredibly fun. Now that's all the time I have for this video. Thank you for watching. Leave all your questions and requests in the comments section down below. For now, if you want to learn more about Smite with me, you can click on that video on your screen, and I will see you there. Have a good day, guys.